Maybe.
Welcome to the Talkin Moto podcast.
Presented by ScottKingDesigns.com. Hosted by Jeff Klein.
Pretty sure she gets a lot of comments about how effing hot she is, so she's probably tired of him.
Jason Place.
But
Well, you kind of had to suspect that that's what was going on anyway.
And SKD. Oh, I hope we don't lose everything. I'm gonna feel like a jackass. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Talkin Moto podcast. As always, it's Monday, June 23rd. We're coming live. And that's it. Kind of a lot going on all of a sudden all at once for me. But gotta thank ScottKingDesigns.com for putting this all together. And we gotta thank everyone that's been helping us out with the podcast. Oh, I'm hearing some clapping. That's good. That's what we like.
Oh, that wasn't clapping. That was me packing a tin of chew.
Oh, well, close enough. But we got Plainview Power Sports, Northland MX, Pro Action by FTM, MB1 Suspension, Moto Kazi, Black Diamond MX, Hardline MX, District 23, The Bicycle Works, The Open Mic Podcast, and The Damn Bait Shop, which
Friggin' bait shop.
I don't think he's underwater. You guys have been getting a little rain up there.
Yeah, a little bit. Some of us are drier than others.
I think, I thought Mark posted a picture and drawing a blank. Godfathers was like underwater. So
Where's he at?
oh no, it's Albert Lee. I hope I'm saying that right.
Well,
Not Austin. Albert Lee, down that way.
okay.
It's gotta be. It's right off 35.
Well, I'm just trying to think of where there's a Godfathers around here anymore.
No Godfathers in the big city.
No, they're all gone. The only way I can get Godfathers anymore is if I go to the county fairs and the Godfathers trailer is there. And I love Godfathers.
Are you a Casey's Pizza guy?
You know, I love Casey's Pizza, but unfortunately it does not love me.
So it's good.
Yes.
So yeah, I think we got a good show lined up. There was obviously no racing for the pros in the U.S. of A., but the Canadians were at it. We're gonna have Chad on in a little bit. He's racing down at Millville this weekend for the Mountain Dew ATV Motocross National Championship. So it'd be kind of cool to get that kind of perspective on things from the four-wheeler side. But coming up here in a little bit, we got Billy Laninovich coming on. So
Billy Laninovich.
and I think I'm saying that right, and that's pretty good. Maybe because there's no E in that name.
He's a rock star, man. I mean, Jeff and I were just talking about this before the show. He's actually pretty bummed that he's gonna miss him because I mean, he used to haul ass back in the day.
Yeah. So
Maybe he still does. I don't know. I haven't seen him race in quite a while.
So yeah, I think that should be pretty cool. So, and we got a few more likes, so you guys got to keep going to the old facebook.com/talkinmoto. Hit that like button. We're up to 221, so look out.
You know, I don't even know. Do you have Talkin Moto on Instagram?
Yeah, but some prick already has it.
Oh,
I know. So, Instagram, we are at Talking Moto Podcast.
I
Which
gotcha.
I don't understand. Website was good. Twitter was good. Facebook is good. Why I can't get Instagram? I thought maybe I set it up and I was just brain farting on it, but yeah, nothing. Can't.
He probably took it because he knew we were going to be superstars, and he thought, "Oh, someday I'll charge these guys a crap load of money for Talkin Moto."
Probably. So, But yeah, so we got that. And I'm pretty good about getting all the podcasts up right away on Stitcher and SoundCloud and iTunes. And if you don't want to listen to the whole episode, I've been cutting them up. I don't know if you've been noticing that, Jason.
Yes, I have, and I'm against it, but that's fine.
Really?
Do what you got. Yeah.
Not a fan. Okay, all right.
But you know what? The fans probably like it, so yeah, do whatever you got to do. I'm not a fan of it because that way you can cut out our sponsors and everything else, which sucks for them, but that's just my opinion.
All right. Well, we can work on that. We'll massage that in with the sponsor stuff, so we should be good.
Cool.
So, how was your weekend? I seen the photo.
Yeah.
What happened?
Plain and simple. Practice Saturday morning. I'm guessing it was a rock because I didn't see it. Something smacked me in the knee and ta-da! All of a sudden I have a golf ball for a kneecap.
Does that hurt? It looks...
Oh, God. It stung me pretty good. It took about a half a lap around Millville for me to get to the point where I could actually like move my leg again. And then I just started riding and let adrenaline take over. And I thought originally that I was done for the day as soon as it happened, which was going to suck because pretty much my entire family came to Millville and none of them ever come to races. So I was pretty fired up to have them there. And I thought I was going to be going back to the pits and calling them and telling them to stay home, but ended up racing and it all worked out all right.
So now did the weekend got cut short, right?
Yeah, I think we got 2 or 3 motos from being through the first set of motos, and then I mean the rain just came in buckets and shut her down awfully fast. Guy Olin had to go out there and say, "You don't have to worry, it's not going to rain today," and 5 minutes later it's raining sideways.
He's always down there doing the announcing, isn't he?
It was pretty funny because it was like no time. He said that and it started raining pretty much.
That stinks. How was it up until that point?
Actually, it was pretty good. Track was awesome on Sunday morning. Saturday, it was weird. It's hard to describe. I was thinking at first that it was just because I hadn't ridden at Millville in probably a year and a half, and I haven't raced there since, I don't remember the last time I raced there. But I was thinking it was weird when I went out for first practice and I came back and started asking people what they thought of the track, and they all said the same thing. It was just weird. But Sunday morning, it was awesome. It was shaping up to be a good day until the rain came.
And then it rained. Did it rain for just 10 minutes and it completely wrecked everything, or did it rain and keep raining?
It downpoured for, 10 or 15 minutes, and the wind came up, and I had my entire family underneath the Easy Up holding it down so it wouldn't blow away. And then all of a sudden, kind of a second blob showed up behind the first blob, and yeah, it was pretty much over.
Yeah, I think I seen Clayton had posted something on Facebook. He went home and was playing in the garden on Sunday.
Well, it was one of those things where it's so frustrating because, I think I left the track about 2, maybe just before 2, and it was still raining, but not bad. And then, went to Mom and Dad's because it's 15 minutes away, and Dad grilled up some burgers and ate there, and I got home about 4 o'clock and the sun was shining, so it's just a bum deal, just the way things have been going around here lately.
Now, you went down on Friday, right?
Yeah, I did.
Skipped out on the Jordan?
Yeah, I just really wanted to make it a Millville weekend. Like I said, I hadn't been down there for a race weekend in so long, and had some buddies that were going, so I figured I'd just head down there. I have to be at Jordan this weekend on Friday night, so Going to be taking over the tower again and doing some announcing. So everybody swing out for that show.
Are you going to be singing the national anthem again?
That's the big question, and more than likely I probably will. But
Gonna keep them guessing.
I don't know if I should because everybody expects it now. So maybe I'll bring a guitar along and play it.
You'll have to put out a tip jar.
Yeah.
Be doing this stuff live. You need to get paid for it.
Yeah. What made it fun last time was the fact that nobody expected it because I didn't tell anybody I was going to do it.
Cool. Well, should we get Billy in here?
Last I checked, it's your show, boss.
I know, but
you have a hard time making decisions. I know.
I'm not very good at this. What?
That's good to hear.
Who's running this show? Oh man. What else happened? Why I punch all this in and get it going?
Oh, I don't know. You were talking about not going to Jordan. Jordan was actually Saturday night this week.
Oh.
So, but upcoming this weekend is everybody's favorite, a Jordan Saturday night Mankato doubleheader. So that should be sweet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Hopefully it's working.
I can hear it.
I know.
Hello?
Hey, Billy, how's it going?
Good. How you guys doing?
Doing real good. Billy Laninovich, everybody.
Thank you. Just helping my buddy move right now. Loading up his truck.
Oh, that's what I just got done doing.
Ooh, fun.
Not so much. I'd rather sit here and talk to you.
Yeah. A little bit easier, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I know, Billy, I kind of talked to you a few minutes earlier today. What have you been kind of up to? You said you were going to school and...
Yep.
What?
Yeah, just been doing my motocross schools here in Southern California and working on the track at the motocross ministry, doing that with Casey Johnson and Tyler Kalesiak and a couple other people. And then, yeah, I've been in EMT school for the past 6 weeks now, and I got another 6 weeks to go. So we're halfway through that. And that's a learning experience because I haven't been to school in 12 years. And sitting down and studying every day, it's like, oh, my brain's going to explode. But I'm getting through it. I have a 88.9 in the class right now, so I'm pretty proud of myself. I'm just going into a blind. I don't know anything about anatomy, physiology, or anything like that. And that's all the stuff that we're learning right now. So, yeah, it's fun. I love learning about the body and going to be able to help any of my riders or anyone at the track that crashes and stuff like that. I'll know what to do and protect their neck and their back and how to remove the safety equipment a little bit better than I did before.
You don't just rip it off.
No. It's the worst thing you can do. And there's so many guys out there, flaggers, that kids crash and knock themselves out, and they could have a neck problem or back problem, and they're picking them up, dragging them off the track.
Yep.
And I've learned now that's the stupidest thing that I always knew that you didn't do that, but now I know why. The stupidest thing you can do. And you even see people at the track working that do the same thing.
Yep. Well, it's always kind of the first instinct, it seems like. Number one, the rider's hot, and you know that they're, dehydrated and whatever. You just want to get them out of harm's way more than anything, but you're doing more harm than good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just trying to learn that stuff, and if any of my riders go down, I'll know what to do. I'll be there to help them and support them.
Cool.
Now, is that why you got into that? Just because of, you're doing the class, or just something you've always wanted to do, or?
Yeah, as being a motocross rider, we always go down and we get hurt, and you got the first responders there that help, and the paramedic and fire department. And I've always liked what they've done. They've always been really professional, and so I'm at a time in my career where I raced motocross for so many years, and just I got to go to the next level or next step of my life. And so I'm looking more down towards being a firefighter.
Oh, cool.
That's what I would like to do. Yeah. And still do all my coaching at the same time. They have an amazing schedule, and I can still coach and train my riders while doing the firefighting. But that's a long process.
Because you have
Not for years down the road.
say you got to do the EMT stuff first, right? Is that how that all?
You do. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, you got to do all that. That's really the first step.
I don't know. Doesn't Pingree do that too? I guess I don't know if you.
He does.
Okay, that's what I thought. Do you ever talk to him about it, or?
I have. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I've talked to Ping a few times about it. And so it's a long process. It's hard to get in. It's very competitive. But I've been a professional motorcycle racer throughout my life, and I know the hard work and dedication it takes, and this is going to take just as much, if not more. I went to do a test, and there's 3,000 people there taking the same test just for one county. They're only having 30 to 50 job opportunities. So it's very, very competitive, and it's a long process. So that won't be for years if I ever get in.
Why? Do you know why that there's so many?
It's an awesome job, I guess.
Oh, that could be
People, yeah.
That seems like a lot of people for not a lot of spots.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It is. I couldn't see myself doing really anything else besides riding a motorcycle and hopefully being a firefighter one day.
Nice.
Just got to put my head down and work hard.
That seems really interesting to me because it seems like around here, I mean, granted, a lot of the fire departments in this area are volunteer, but they are just constantly looking for people. I mean, they would love to have that problem, at least from what I've seen.
Yeah, out here, completely different story.
Huh.
It is just packed. There'd probably be 5,000 or 10,000 people that submit their applications, and then they have like 2,000 or 3,000 people take the test. And then I'm not sure exactly how many people make it to the interviews, but very competitive.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how many?
So yeah, just doing that and coaching my riders, having some fun. Get to ride a little bit. Don't ride as much as I used to, but if I can get out 4 or 5 times a month, that's good for me.
Where do you usually ride at? Or I seen a video today. You were out at, was it Ronnie Feist's place riding? You still ride with those guys, or?
Yeah, it's been a while. I was out there before. I think Saquon Casino had a best whip, and so I went out there and rode, hit some ramps and stuff. So I don't get to hit ramps a whole lot. They're scary to me. I hate jumping them. Just to go off them straight, let alone upside down. But I go over to Ronnie's house and I practice over there before.
No,
Competition.
I find that kind of weird. Like, is it just the feel, or is it like the grip? Because I think like a ramp would be more consistent than
dirt. Oh, it is.
Yeah.
No, it's just how high you're up, and the landings are straight up and down. You make one mistake and you're crashing pretty hard.
Have you ever hit a ramp, Scott?
Other than, I don't know if he's listening. I hit Kyle's ramp. But
I had a buddy that used to have a metal ramp, and the only time I would hit that is after a couple beers.
Jeez.
Oh, that's not smart.
No, it wasn't, but it was the only time I could get over the fact it wasn't the ramp, it wasn't how high, it wasn't the landing. It was the fact that the ramp looked so narrow, and you had to hit that thing just perfect, it seeed like.
Liquid courage, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
That will give you some courage to do that.
Well, it was actually a pretty stupid idea. One time we were down at Millville for a race, and a buddy of mine, his parents just bought a new fifth wheel camper, and we decided that those of us that were old enough to drink were going to ride home in the camper, and we had a case of beer in the camper, and we got home or back to my buddy's place, and we're unloading. It's like, we got dirt bikes, we got a metal ramp. Why not? But we actually got my buddy's dad talked into going off it.
Ooh, how did that go? Any crashes?
Well, long story short, it was just like a cartoon pretty much, because he saw us just kind of rolling up to it and just giving a little bit of a brop, and we were clearing it just fine, you know. So he thought he could do that in first gear on a 125.
Ooh.
And it was just like a cartoon. He fell straight down, and his hat stayed up in the air.
No.
But he rode it out.
Did he? Oh,
yeah.
Got lucky.
Oh, yeah, he came away unscathed.
That's funny.
But I'm guessing the gaps were. I know the gap we were hitting was not that far. So
I'm not sure how big that gap was when we were doing that. To tell you the truth, I will say this: do as I say, not as I do. That was a terrible idea.
we need to fire up a disclaimer here.
Yes, exactly.
Right? Yeah. Don't do that at home.
So what else? What was that? And forgive me for not having prepared this, but did you just race some, like, there was some race, I swear I saw it on your Facebook, like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. The Spy Del Moto Derby.
Yeah, okay, so what?
It's always at the Del Mar Fair.
Okay. That gets a lot of, does that get a pretty good turnout?
It did. There was so many people. Last year, there wasn't a whole lot of people there. There's a lot of seats. And this year, that place was packed. It was full during the racing and stuff. I couldn't believe how many people were there. But I had a great time. I haven't been riding a whole lot, so I'm fat and out of shape. And so Toyota Escondido asked me to go down there and show up and race for them. And so I did. And I had a blast. I rode like 70%, just cruised around the track and was riding around with those guys. But it's a little, how do you say it, discouraging, I guess. I got 7th, and knowing that if I was fit, that I could go out and win it.
Right.
So that discouraged me a little bit, but I haven't been riding, and so I just played it safe. It was a really tight track, a little bit more supercross style than it was last year. It's kind of like an arena cross track, and they had a triple and a really steep finish line double and stuff like that. So I just clicked my clickers all the way as stiff as they can go and put my air forks up to like 40 pounds, and I was good to go.
How, so you said that's like during a fair then?
Yeah, we have it's called the Del Mar Fair down in San Diego, and it's just in a little arena where they show their horses and cows and pigs and goats, all that stuff. So I think it was probably 20-second lap times, maybe.
Wow.
Maybe 25. I don't even know if it was that.
Cool.
Really small.
Did they give you anything for winning, or just kind of?
Yeah, there was a good pro purse. I think it was like $3,000 for first.
Wow.
$2,000 for second, and $1,000 for third.
It's not too bad for riding your dirt bike on a evening.
Yeah, no, it's not bad at all. It's a fun race though. Spy does a really good job putting that race together and getting riders out there, and it's fun because you get to see the little 60 riders, man. It's unreal. They look like little pros out there jumping those jumps. It's crazy. There was one double. There was 2 60 riders jumping, and I couldn't believe it. I mean, this jump was straight up and down, just like a supercross double. And they were jumping that thing. It's like, oh my gosh. And then the 80 riders, there's some awesome 80 riders nowadays. They're going so fast. So it's fun to watch those guys. And then they had the B riders.
Some of those kids are just insane. I mean, I think about myself at that age, and I mean, I didn't even know what a dirt bike was at that time, but to think about, you know, how fast their mind is working and all that, to me, it's just amazing to see those kids ride the way they do.
It is. I mean, you look at pictures of Stewart or something, and then you could literally take a picture of these 60 riders. They're tiny, and they have the same riding style as the pros do nowadays.
Yep.
It's just unreal.
It's almost scary.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there's this one kid, the track was so slick. The dirt was really good. It looked good, but it was really slick. They were sliding out everywhere. And a lot of the A riders and B riders were going inside, and they're sliding off the slip, getting sideways off a little double. And it was a double-double and a triple. And one of the 60 riders was doing the same line as the big bike riders. And just good throttle control going off of it and setting himself up for the triple. It was just blew my mind. So it was a lot of fun watching those guys.
Yeah, it's no fair though. Well, I don't ride anymore, but Jason still rides. But you guys get a ride all the time out there. We don't.
Yep.
We're in the frozen tundra. It just finally quit snowing up here. But it is what it is.
We are spoiled. We got the best weather down here in California, Southern California. I'm near San Diego, so our winter this winter was pretty much our summer. It got cool a little bit, but it was pretty warm. It would get up to 90s in some of our days. And so we are spoiled. The only bad thing is it's expensive and we got a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
That's what sucks. And I hate traffic.
So what you want to tell us a little bit about your Lano MX you got going?
Yeah, just coaching. I got my youngest kid's 5 years old, and I train guys up to 55 years old, all levels from beginner, just learning how to ride a motorcycle, and to some A-level riders that are riding Supercross. And so we just meet down at the tracks. I've been starting to do Escondido Cycle Center is one of my sponsors. They supply me with a motorcycle, and we just did a really fun ride day. We had, I think, 9 people out at Burnt Oaks on this last Friday. And so that was a blast. So I'm doing little ride days, and then I do my private lessons throughout the whole week.
Keeping busy.
Yeah, it is. I stay pretty busy with it. It's slow at times. Like anything else, you're doing construction, you're going to be really busy, and then you slow down and then start getting busy again, which is unfortunate. It's a little bummer that it's like that, but there is. And there's so many trainers out here. You have so many guys that are working with riders, and so there's a lot of competition that way.
That's kind of what I was thinking about too when I was on your website. It was like, man, there's got to be just a ton of guys out there training people. So do you look for certain people, or are you open just to pretty much anyone that wants to come and just looking for pointers? Or
Yeah, I'm open to everybody. I don't just go straight to the pro guys and want to train them. I love working with new riders and beginners because I love watching them progress and get better and watching their riding style and all that stuff change. I love that. And so, yeah, I just have anyone that wants to come. I don't advertise or nothing. It's all by word of mouth. And so people get training and they like it, so they go tell their buddies and stuff like that. And that's how it works for me.
Nothing wrong with that. Word of mouth is a good thing.
Yeah. That's the best thing right there is people putting in a good word for you. And, yeah, go train with Billy. He's an awesome trainer and stuff like that. So
do you, is it just kind of more like on technique type of stuff, or do you get into all like the nutrition and what they should be eating, or?
Not a whole lot. I have had riders where I put them on nutrition programs and training programs and work with them in the gym. But that was before I came back to racing in 2012. And so since I stopped racing, then I haven't been doing that. It's just been on the track working on technique.
Nice.
Yeah, it's fun.
So you got any big whip competitions lined up?
Probably Monster Cup will be the next one. I think that's in October. And then Sequan Casino down in San Diego. RCH. Sequan Casino sponsors the Ricky Carmichael Huntington team. And so last year, I think it was their first year of doing it. So they brought in a bunch of dirt for landing and brought in a ramp, and we had a little show for the people. That was really fun. So probably just those two right now, October and December.
Okay, here's a dumb question. Is that their like main headquarters in San Diego, or is that just kind of one of the
No.
No.
RCH?
No, the casino.
The Quan? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's where the casino is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. Jason,
Yeah.
you still with me?
Oh, yeah, I'm still here.
Pretty quiet.
I was gonna ask you, Billy. We hear a lot about all these guys doing the training and that. And one thing that's kind of occurred to me lately is, it seems like everybody that's doing it is out in California, or, there really isn't a whole lot in the Midwest, at least the upper Midwest. Other than, the local pros, the local A riders that don't get me wrong, they do a good job of helping guys out. But have you ever considered traveling and trying to do it, like setting up a week at Millville or, Redbud or someplace like that, and, coming in for a week, sign some guys up and trying to do something like that? Or is it just, a week isn't enough time?
No, I would love to. That would be fun. And then you get to travel and stuff like that. With our motocross ministry, that's what we planned on doing down the road. And so we're going to start out here and do some in Southern California, maybe go up to Hangtown, and then hopefully down the road we'll be able to travel around. But for me to come out there and do a week out there, I would love to. I just haven't really had the opportunity or tried connecting with the tracks and promoting it or anything like that.
Sure. I just think that would be, for anybody to say, they're going to pick up roots from Minnesota, where we are, and go, out to California, it gets so friggin' expensive, and I realize doing a week here would be expensive too, but you hear what some of these guys are paying, and it's like, my God, if I had the talent, I would love to throw something together like that, but I couldn't teach a mosquito how to fly, so.
Yeah, if I had the opportunity, I've had some people come up to me and ask me if I wanted to come out to like Washington, Washougal area and do stuff like that, but nothing's really ever planned out and worked out. So, but if I had the opportunity someone came up to me and said, "Hey, you want to come out to Millville and do a class for a week?" I would love to. I would do it in a heartbeat.
I would think that would be awesome. Even as a 31-year-old, I mean, I would consider getting in on something like that. If, take a week off work and go do that, I think that would be a blast. Because it's not realistic. It's not realistic for me to pick up and go either out to Club MX or wherever, or come out to you, or it's not realistic for a guy like me to do that. But to take a week off work and go to Millville, I think you'd have guys lining up left and right for that.
Yeah, it'd be a lot easier for them and definitely a lot cheaper than driving all the way out here and trying to find somewhere to stay and all that stuff.
Cool.
Let's make it happen. Jason,
let's do it.
Let's work on it. We can do it together.
Well, I got some contacts. Might be able to put something together.
I would love to.
Billy, do you ever? I mean, obviously you're still, involved with your training and you're still riding, but like, do you ever miss the racing side of it, or you do? And then, like, for me, it's like, man, it'd be fun to be out there, like, riding with Jason and Jeff, and then usually about that time you just see some guy just cartwheeling it, and then you're like, you know what? Yeah, I don't miss it quite that much, but
yeah,
is that kind of the same?
I do miss it. When I came back in 2012, I had taken a couple years off, and I had so much fun. Just, I was out of shape, and I had to work myself into shape by racing, and I had a lot of fun. And then we were supposed to race in 2013, and my main sponsor, she got pneumonia, and she was put in a hospital back east.
Okay.
And so that was very discouraging because I was riding Supercross, I think, all of October, and I felt so good. and my speed, I felt like it was way better than the year before, and I thought for sure that I could have been close to a podium if everything went my way, and then it all fell apart, and it was discouraging to do it, but, you know, I think everything happens for a reason, and something worse could have happened if I was racing. And so I'm 31 now. I love it, and I do miss it, but I'm walking away from the sport. And so I kind of look at it that way, too. With all the injuries I've had, my body is still really good. Motocross is a dangerous, dangerous sport. I wouldn't change it for anything. I would do it all over again. But there's that time where, I don't know, I guess you got to call it quits. And I'd hate to try to go do it again, to get back out there and have a bad injury because I wasn't prepared or I just mentally wasn't there. But I think at 31 years old, my mentality, and I think I'm a smarter rider. I have a lot of experience. So it does get hard. I think about that all the time. Then I think about me just being able to walk away from the sport and stuff like that. So it's a tough decision, but I think I'm done and just got to let it go. I love riding my motorcycle. I love being on my bike, and I get out as much as I can to do that.
And I don't know if this is good to say or not, but like to me, listening to that story, you know, to me the person that jumps out to me is Doug Henry. You know, it's like kind of kept coming back, but I mean he's done a lot of stuff even with his injury. You know, that I'll never do, but yeah, you know,
it's tough. Even if you're not racing, it's still dangerous.
Right.
Just riding a motorcycle. And so anything can happen, but I think in a race scenario, it's a little bit more dangerous than just out riding around.
I was trying to think. Well, yep, I'm a bad example. I think I've gotten hurt both practicing and racing. So, yeah, it's not, you know, when it's going to happen or how or whatever, but it's when and how bad, I guess, is kind of how it goes.
Yeah. If you ride a motorcycle, you're going to get hurt. And so throughout my whole career, ever since I was a little guy and started riding, I've had quite a bit of injuries. Nothing too bad, but it's just injuries suck, especially when you're at the professional level and you do all that hard work to prepare yourself for that next race or for the season, and you go and hurt yourself and you're out for 3 or 6 months.
Yeah.
And you're watching all your competitors ride and get better and better and better, and you're sitting on the couch doing nothing. And so mentally it's hard, and physically it's hard, and it's a brutal sport. It's definitely a very, very tough sport.
Kyle, you guys are bringing me down. Knock it off.
Why?
As a 31-year-old vet rider, that's always like, all right, take it easy. You're not a damn kid anymore.
Hey, you can still go fast. You just got to be smart. Don't ride over your head. Ride within your means.
Yeah, that's the line you have to find.
Yeah. Got to be smart about it.
Well, cool, Billy. You got anything else, Jason?
I'm kind of tapped, man.
No, we got some best whips. Okay, here's a question. I like the nice, smooth, and I guess I'd call it more of like a supercross whip. Okay? Cake it over, whip the back end out. I like that. I think that's the best whip there is. I'm not a fan, and I know it's cool as hell when you can hit a ramp and you can point the bike the way you're coming from and then get it back. I think that's cool, but it's so, like, to me it's real jerky, you know. But yeah. I like like I said, a nice smooth whip I think that's the coolest trick out there.
I agree. It's with the competitions now, they're looking for variety. Guys that can whip to the left, whip to the right, they can do different kind of whips, I guess. And so that was something I was always really good at, whipping it to the right. Everyone says to the left, but I say to the right. And then when I started doing these competitions, I'm like, well, I'm going to have to figure something out. I can't just do this over and over and over. So the turn down whips, I think when you're facing backwards, are a little bit more scarier than getting upside down.
Okay.
One time at Monster Cup, I did one where I looked back and my front end slid off the ramp and it completely dropped, and I landed sideways with my feet off, and luckily I didn't crash. And that was when we were doing the you had to qualify outside of the stadium.
Okay.
So for me to do turn down whips are a lot scarier than doing an upside down whip. But I do like the upside down whips a lot better. More supercross style whips.
What about what's the other one? Is that more like a stalled whip, I guess, where it's more like front end high and then you kind of push your body out forward and then...
Yeah, it's kind of, what do they call it, a turn up
Okay.
whip. There's turn up where you got your front end up really high, and then the turn down is where your front end's low and the rear end's backwards.
That one's starting
And
to grow
so-
on me a little bit, but I'll stick
The
to...
turn up?
Yeah. Yeah, where you just... To me,
Turn
it's
ups
more
are
like
fun.
you're floating, so...
Yeah. Those out in the hills are fun, especially if you have the right jump to be able to do it. Those are a blast. Hanson, he's retarded at those things. He's good.
Actually, I just caught a video on him this afternoon. He's gonna try. Did you hear anything about that? He wants to come back to racing.
You know what? I saw something, I think, on Twitter. Racer X may have posted something
So yeah,
about him coming back to racing.
yeah, yep. So,
Yeah.
but
Hanson's he's definitely got the skills. He's a very talented rider. He's just got to put his head down and work at it.
right, it's kind of what we'll probably talk about it later too. But yeah, it's like there's no doubt the dude's got some skills on a bike, and like you said, put your head down and get going.
Yep. If he wants to come back at it, he's been off for, I think, a couple of years now, and he's going to have to definitely do all the training off the bike and try to get as focused as he can. And if he does that, I don't see why he can't be in the top 5.
Cool.
Yeah.
You guys are talking about whips, and it's making me jealous because I've been trying to whip a dirt bike for years and can never really get past that point to where it actually looks halfway decent. So can you give a guy like me some tips on how to throw a nice whip?
I can't.
Just like everybody
Honestly,
else.
I don't even know how I do it. It's all momentum, and you have to commit to the jump and just lean the bike over.
Yep, that's
That's
what
all.
everybody says.
When I go to, because I don't hit ramps a lot, like I'll go hit a ramp 2 or 3 times before I go do a competition. And so when I first get out there, I'm scared, I'm nervous, and I'm like, man, I hope I remember how to whip. And it's just hit the ramp a couple times and then throw a whip, and I don't know, it's just something that's natural. It's very natural. And it's funny because it's the guys that are 40 and 50 years old that want to do whips. And anytime I'm coaching them, they're like, you need to teach me how to whip. And I'm like, no, I'm not teaching you how to whip. You need to go to work the next day. It's not that hard to get the bike out, but you got to bring it back.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't bring it back, it's not going to be very pretty. So everyone asks me, how do you do it? I don't know. It's just leaning the bike, dropping your shoulder, and let that thing get upside down.
Yeah, it's just always been one of those things that, I'll be at a track with a nice lip and everything and be like, I'm throwing some sick whips today, and then there'll be somebody there taking pictures and I'll see them. It's like, all right, the back end's out there, you're completely sideways, but you're standing straight up and down. What the hell?
Yeah.
You got the...
You know what we call that? Butt whip.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's what I was gonna say.
Exactly.
The butt whip.
The butt whip or the vet whip?
Hey, anytime you get your bike sideways, that's pretty good. So next time you go out there, just work on getting it a little bit more sideways. But make sure you bring it back.
Yeah, that's always
Just
the
bring in
hardest part.
whichever side you go. If you go to the right, you're just using that outside leg and just pull that thing back.
Yeah, I'm with you. I go to the right so much easier than I go to the left. I don't know why. I don't know why that is.
Now, your right, is that towards your right arm or is that towards your left arm?
Towards my right arm.
Okay. See, everyone says you're whipping it to the left. I don't know
Oh,
why they say that, but
I don't even know
yeah,
that.
they're right. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Huh.
So it's backwards? Like, I would assume, like, if I hit a jump and I whip it to the right, that would be towards my right arm. Or is that what you just said?
Yeah, that's what I say.
Yeah,
But
that's...
everyone says it the other way.
But it's opposite. It's whichever way your tail goes.
Oh, man.
I don't know.
I think just got
It's
confusing.
confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool, Billy. Well, you want to tell people where they can get a hold of you? Hopefully they're listening. And
Yeah. You can go to my website. It's LanoMX.com. You can go there. I just got my email fixed yesterday, thanks to Brad Cruffle, who does my website. It wasn't working for like a year, but he just got that thing up and going, and so you can go there. My email is billy@billylaninovich.com, or just go to my website, LanoMX.com.
cool, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on and give us a little love on Twitter and stuff. So we're trying to get this show rolling. So we appreciate it.
Yeah, let me know anytime that you guys want me to come back on. I would love to.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, keep in touch, man. I really appreciate the time, and maybe we can throw something together here down the road.
Let's try. I would love to.
Sweet.
Cool.
All right, guys.
All right, have a good one. Thank you.
You too. Thank you, guys. Have a great night.
You too.
You too.
Thanks. Bye.
Oh, boy.
I have a gentleman caller. Did you hear that?
No? Do we need to get Jeff in here?
Well, he's here.
Are you guys just going to share the mic?
Well, I only have one set of headphones, so
Oh, no. All right.
that could be weird. And I'm not sure how to make it work otherwise.
I can... We should be able to add him if he wants to use his phone again.
His phone is dead.
Okay, you're making this really hard for me. Okay. So that... Okay, now I can't hear. That's no fair.
Oh, he had to prove to me that his phone is dead by showing me that it's dead.
Plug it in.
I don't have a plug for it. He's got one of those goofy phones.
What happens if we give him your phone?
I don't know.
Then Jason would be in here twice.
Probably all you'll hear is feedback. Would be my guess. I don't know. I can try to fire it up on my phone.
Well, all we'd have to do is call you. I'll call your phone, and then he can just use the phone, and then you'll stay on your computer.
Yeah, but I think you're just going to be able to hear the phone, and that's it.
Stupid Google Hangout. We're done with you.
How loud do you have that? I can
Yeah,
hear
I think it's dumb. It's pretty loud.
that. Aren't they supposed to be noise canceling?
All right. Well, I can
No.
hear him off your mic.
Well, you should be able to. I mean, a lot of times I'm 5 feet away from this mic.
Oh,
So
is he sitting on your lap? That's weird, Jason.
he's leaning over my shoulder.
Oh, that's
My hand is resting on his lap.
Awkward.
Oh, shoot. All right. Hang on. Talk some more.
What am I hanging on to? That was a good time. Billy was an awesome guest.
Oh, I missed it?
Yeah, we just got rid of him.
Yeah, we start at 7, Jeff. I'm just kidding. Okay, so we're gonna bring Chad on. Do we want to hit up the commercial first, or?
I'm ready for a break.
Okay, cool. I know there's a few. I think we got a few guys in the chat room that they're either are going or they were talking about going, or seeing who's going to the ATV race this weekend. So
Cool.
but all right, let's hit up the break, and we'll get Chad in here hopefully shortly after the break.
Sounds good.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? I just want to say thank you to everyone out there that's been supporting the Talkin Moto podcast. It has been amazing. We have a great group of guys. We have an awesome list of sponsors. So please keep sharing, keep liking, keep spreading the word about the Talkin Moto podcast. And I hope you're enjoying the show. A special thanks to Motokazi.com. Motokazi holds AMA District 23 sanctioned races at both Kellogg and Mankato, as well as hosts the Motokazi Supercross Championship Series, which is all over Minnesota, Iowa, and Wisconsin. They also have organized practice at Kellogg, Jordan, and at Mankato, as well as offer race schools, so you can get all tuned in on all your riding techniques. Make sure to check out Motokazi.com for more details. We would like to thank Mike from MB1 Suspension. Based out of Corona, California, they offer suspension, engine, and coating services. Please give them a call today at 951-371-5045 or check them out online at mb1suspension.com and make sure to tell them that you heard about them from us on the Talkin Moto podcast. Hey, we got Andy and Chad from the Open Mic. It's a weekly comedy podcast, and they talk about anything and everything, and they usually do. I've been on the podcast a few times, and it is a good time for sure. It's Friday nights, 8 p.m. Central. It's available on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher. There's more information available online at theopenmicpodcast.com. Pro Action by FTM is one of our many great sponsors. FTM offers support to you, the rider, trackside, so when you need it the most, FTM is there for you. Not only do they offer great suspension work, but they also have many other great bike parts and accessories to help you out on the track. So make sure to check them out today at finetune.com. The Talkin Moto podcast is proud to announce that they've teamed up with Plainview Powersports. Plainview Powersports is your Kawasaki motorcycle, ATV, and side-by-side headquarters. Located in Plainview, Minnesota, you can reach them at 507-534-3520 or check them out online at plainview-powersports.com. All right, thanks everyone for listening to us on the Talkin Moto podcast. We really appreciate it. If you can, go on to our website, talkinmoto.com. Support those that are supporting us. Everyone's link is up on the website. We're on Stitcher, we're on iTunes, we're on SoundCloud. Everything gets posted up on YouTube. So please give us a like, share, subscribe, and I hope you're enjoying the show. So let's get back to it. Is everybody back? Jason. Not good. Jason's not back. Cool. All right. Well, like we said kind of earlier, we got Chad. He's the current points leader. He's got like a 41-point lead. He's won the last 2 championships, and as you guys know, this weekend they have the Mountain Dew ATV Motocross National Championship down at Millville, so should be pretty cool. If you guys are gonna make it down, I don't know who's all gonna make it down. It's the first time they've been back since, I believe it's 2011, so should be pretty cool. I seen, I believe the last round I caught on MAV TV over the weekend. So kind of what those guys do on their 4-wheelers, I think is pretty crazy. So if you guys get down there, go check it out. Jason.
Yes, sir.
Scaring me.
Well, I'm sorry, man. I'm trying to help a buddy out here, all right?
I'm thinking I need to put a bathroom in the basement is what I need to do.
You just need a bucket.
All right, cool. So let's get Chad in here, and he can tell us a little bit more about these ATVs and racing, because it's kind of new to me, I guess. I mean, wouldn't you say there not a lot of places to ride four-wheelers these days?
No, it seems like they're getting shut out at more and more places. So, to tell you the truth, I was actually thinking about if I have no idea what kind of shape Cato's in with all the rain, but if for some reason that doesn't happen this weekend, there's a pretty good possibility I'm going to go down there and check that out just to say we're there.
Oh, because Cato is this weekend for Motokazi.
Gotcha. That's always kind of a big deal. I mean, you go to Jordan on Friday night for the race, and then you load up and you join the convoy and head down to Cato. So it always makes for a fun weekend.
Nice. All right, well, let's see if this works.
Go for it.
We'll bring Chad in here. Come on, Google Hangout. Work with us.
Hello.
Hey, Chad, Scott with Talkin Moto. How's it going?
Good. How are you, man?
Oh, not too bad. Thanks for coming on the show.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me, man.
All right, I'm gonna ask right off the bat. How do you pronounce your last name correctly?
Wienen.
Wienen?
Oh, I was wrong.
Wienen.
We were debating, and I'm horrible with names, and I can't talk, but yet I try to run this podcast, so it gets kind of funny when I'm talking. So cool.
Right on.
But
what'd you think it was?
I thought it was whining.
Whining?
Yeah, I was gonna go whining.
You get that a lot.
Happens every time. Oh yeah. Sometimes I'll get wiener. We'll change the N to an R at the end,
People pronounce my last name wrong, and it's Place. How hard is that?
Not very hard.
It's like, it can't be that easy, and that's what I was thinking with your last name. It's like, it can't be that easy, but I guess it is.
Yeah.
All right, Chad.
Nice.
Well, okay, I'm not gonna lie. I think I grew up racing. I didn't really start racing motocross till I was like 18. But snowmobiles and four-wheelers are kind of foreign to me. So to me, when you get a four-wheeler with more than 3 tires off the ground, to me that's dangerous. So
it can be.
So like, I caught the last race, and I don't know if I think it was the last one on Mav TV over the weekend, and some of the stuff you guys are hitting. Just as big, if not bigger, I guess, than the Moto guys. So I think that's pretty crazy if you ask me. So, but
yeah, I mean that's kind of like I grew up racing four wheelers, and a lot of people grew up racing dirt bikes, and we kind of take it to the level of what the pro two wheel guys take it to the level of, and. That's what we know, and it's just I actually have a dirt bike of my own that I ride in the fall and have fun with it, but it's a totally different ball game, honestly.
Cool. Now, you're up in Minnesota right now, correct?
I'm in Illinois. I'm northwest Illinois. Actually, I'm only 200 miles from the event.
Oh wow.
So yeah. So I'm at home right now.
Okay. Cool. So then that's, how far did you say it was?
200 miles, about 4 hours.
So northwest. How far are you from Chicago then?
I'm 2.5 hours northwest of Chicago. So basically, I'm 5 minutes from Wisconsin and 10 from Iowa.
Oh, okay. I got you now.
So I'm way up in the corner of Illinois.
Cool.
Right up by Dubuque, huh?
Yep, right. I'm 15 minutes from Dubuque.
We were just down that way for a qualifier a couple weeks ago, so pretty familiar.
Oh yeah, right on.
So you've been kind of taking it to the boys the last couple years. You won the last two, and I'm guessing points-wise, it's got to be pretty similar to Moto, and you got a 41-point lead right now.
Yes, sir.
So that's pretty damn good, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean it's the season's gone right excellent, and I've won 3 events and got second in the other 2, so just staying consistent. And I've been in that boat where you go out and win races and you break down, and you're digging yourself a hole. And I've kind of figured out the remedy of being able to go out and put awesome finishes in every single weekend.
No. So what? I'm gonna probably ask you a ton of stupid questions because it's all new to me. I've never gone. So,
Oh yeah.
You won the last time they were at Millville, right? In 2011.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Yes.
So, what do you think of the track? You like it, or?
I mean, I love it. Especially the whoop section, the whoop monster in the back. So that is by far my favorite section. Any section that's like technical that you have a hard time hitting the same way twice, and just stuff that separates the men from the boys.
Nice. Now you guys race pretty much all of, well, not all. What is there, 9? Am I reading this right? 9 rounds total.
Yes.
And what, 5 of the 9 are all national tracks? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So now what about some of the, Sunset Ridge, they just had a qualifier. So
Yep.
how does that compare to, say, some of the national tracks? I mean, I've never been to Sunset, so I don't even know anything about it, but do you like?
Oh man,
still pretty sweet.
A lot of Sunset. They have really good soil. I mean, it's just like you have that big national feel to that track. It's a big track, big jumps. It's kind of like that's the best track we've been on so far this year, and we're 5 rounds in already. And like my favorite place to go is Redbud. I mean, it's they got the big jumps there, the roller section, and it's just everybody loves Redbud. Soil's awesome, and that's my second favorite track, and that's not they call it a national track, but it's a awesome facility, great people that run it, and it's only 100 miles away from home, so that's like my hometown track realistically.
Makes it a little nicer when you can sleep in your own bed, huh?
Oh yeah. Yeah, whenever you get those nice and close ones, I mean, it's probably one of the craziest races because you have a lot of fan following that weekend, and it can actually throw you off your game if you're not careful.
What, sorry, Jason, I'm just kind of rattling questions if you got something.
Keep rolling, man. I'll jump in.
Now, are you hucking Larocco's Leap?
Like we've never hit it. I mean, it's a monster. Usually we're very close to being able to click off whatever the 250 bikes do.
Mm-hmm.
But the corner gets so nasty down at the bottom that we can't get the drive out of the corner. We've asked them numerous amounts of times to push back the corner just a little bit, just to let us get more of a run at it. We're carrying 390 pounds up that face, and a lot of the bikes are rolling at maybe 250, 275 or something.
For a moto bike?
Yeah, a moto bike.
They got to be what, Jason? I don't even know anymore. Is it like 220, 230?
Yeah, I want to say closer to 220.
Yeah. So we're we're carrying a lot more weight. That's a jump that you watch the 450s do, and they're just hitting that thing licked, and it's huge leap, but we've never had the opportunity to be able to do it.
To tell them, hey, you need to push this stuff back. We're going to get crazy.
Oh yeah. I know that there's a lot of guys that really, they go for it. And, what really sucks is that I'm racing for, championship points and don't want to have something go wrong like that it would take me out of it. So and Redbud is the second to last round, so you're talking like, serious contention of being able to win at that round. So
what do you I've seen four-wheelers jump, and I'm sure it probably happens quite a bit, but like, they'll land and they'll just snap like the back axle off,
Oh yeah.
Do you think it could take that hit, or do you think if you come up short on that thing, you're gonna be something's gotta give?
Yeah, you've probably heard of bike guys pancaking wheels, and that's a lot more weight that we're carrying up and over that thing. If we come up short on that thing, it's probably done, broken. And we don't have much travel in our suspension to really soak up like a huge hard hit, so I'm sure there'd be some broken bones and broken parts on that thing for sure.
Yeah. Ow. Yeah, the more I'm talking about it, let's not hit the Larocco's leap.
I mean, if somebody else uncorks it and hits it no problem, I'll be the one ready to hit it right after him.
Well, Chet, can you kind of can you walk us through like what a normal, Saturday is? Like I see, first motos are at like 3 seconds at 5. I mean, do you guys get, a few practices in the morning, or what's kind of your normal weekend?
Well, I mean, we start off with tech. We do everything all in one day, just like the Moto, and we start off with tech at 8:30, and we have sound inspection and everything to do with that, and then we roll into practice at 11, and then second one's at 12:30. That's all time qualifying for us. So then we have, after that, we roll into our motos at 3 and 5, and it's a long day. We used to be at noon and 3, and they pushed it back this year to 3 and 5. So it's like we get going in the morning, and then we gotta pull back and let yourself kind of recharge and get ready for motos later in the day.
So do you like the later, or would you just assume do your practice and then start at noon with your motos and then be done?
I mean, I would prefer it to be in a tighter span, just because then you're not like sitting around getting cooled off, and then all of a sudden you're back at the gate 2-3 hours later.
Yeah. I always figure the less time you have to think about your next moto, the better off you are.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. The amount of work that you put in during the week and prepare yourself and allow yourself to go through those hardships and then be able to recover faster. And it's just one of those things that you train your butt off for, and then it pays off when you're ready for it.
Now, let's see, where am I at here? So now you guys you go 15 minutes plus 2, correct?
Yes. Not a fan of it.
Would you rather go longer or shorter?
I would definitely go longer. I mean, it seems like it's definitely an all-out sprint sort of thing, and it actually makes the racing really intense. And like, I'm more of a survival of the fittest kind of guy.
Okay.
And I like to, ride, get my lines in, and then go start clicking off, people. And you don't have time to do that anymore. It's just all out, all you can go. And, a lot of guys don't fall off their pace like they used to when we were doing 20+2.
When did they switch it to 15? Is that something pretty recent?
Just this past year, yeah. Yep. I think a lot of the big reason they did it because we were having a lot of rookies step into the class,
Okay.
and a lot of them aren't used to that longer motos, and yeah, it was a hard transition for them, and it was one of those things that just made a change to it this year, and we've had to adapt.
Me and Jason were just kind of talking about it before we brought you on. It's like, there's not a lot of places to ride four-wheelers anymore, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if the districts, and I could be completely wrong, I don't know that the districts even have them anymore. But
Oh yeah, they do.
they do have them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll shut
They're just selected, locations that do run them.
Okay.
And it's definitely getting thinner and thinner. And I think just just what we do to the tracks, and a lot of the bike guys aren't big fans of, riding in hard packed or, I think could be a big thing is that, a lot of people don't like competing against quads, and, we are bigger and on a bigger machine, and I know if I was riding a dirt bike and a quad passed me, it'd make me upset too.
My biggest complaint is I've always been hardcore bike guy. But my biggest complaint is, like you say, just the way, and there's nothing you guys can do about it. It happens. It's the nature of the beast. But, we have our one practice track that we go to down here all the time. And
Yep.
You got some pretty good lines going and things are great. And at 2:00, they let quads come in, and goodbye to the lines. It gets dusty 100 times faster, it seems like. So I always feel like, I'm never going to discourage somebody from showing up because I love the fact that everybody supports our tracks and they have to make money and everything else. But it's always like, well, there goes the day, kind of. There's nothing personally against you guys. It's just the truth of it,
Yeah, I ride my dirt bike in the fall when I'm done racing the series that, and I'll go out and prep my track just so I can go out and ride my bike on it, because if I go out and try to ride my dirt bike on the track that I've been riding my quad on, it's not fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way it is, and that's why a lot of the tracks that do allow us to go to their places, they have just quad days and just bike days, and it keeps everybody happy. And
Sure.
And we don't have like a huge, the national circuit, we have a huge following, and that's the main place for everybody to go and compete. And at a local circuit, it's hard for people to open up their gates just for quads that have, less than 100 riders come in,
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of planning that people have to do just to get it organized and to make sure people know to show up to these practices or events just so they can have, a track to ride on.
Yep.
And me personally, I have my own practice track, and I definitely have to have that because it's not like it used to where you could just, head out to any track, weekday or weekend and go ride no problem.
Yeah. Silly dirt bikes.
No, that's the way it is, and you can't have 500 pissed off dirt bike riders over 50 or 100 quads. You got to go. They have to make that decision. It's a business decision. That's the way they got to do it.
Right. No, I hear you.
I think if it ever came down to fisticuffs, the quad riders would probably kick our asses. Just because you guys are muscling around those hot rods and we're all riding bikes.
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool. Like, I have, like, some local bike guys, they come out and ride at my place. And, a lot of the stuff at my place, they're just like, man, it's crazy, the stuff that we jump. And, we're on a level that, the top guys in pro dirt bikes are on. There's a fine line that we can run, but I mean, I love hitting the big hits and all the rough track, and that keeps me interested.
All right, Chad, you're probably gonna hate me for asking this, and this is probably a stupid question, and I'm gonna ask it. Okay.
All right.
On your now, like motocross, you twist throttle, right? Is that the same setup on your four-wheeler, or is it? Do you thumb? Is it like a thumb, like your normal four-wheeler, or how does that work?
Yeah, I run a thumb throttle, and there are some guys that grew up riding dirt bikes that they run a twist throttle on their quads.
So they allow you to go either way.
Yeah, they'll allow you to go, either way, and I mean that's a legit question because quads do come with thumb throttles on them, and it's not like a bike where you're leaning into the corner, and when you're trying to turn the bars and like almost like drift through a corner.
Oh yeah.
I find it to be very difficult to be able to twist the throttle when it's tucked into your chest.
Yep. So yeah, I never thought. Yeah, that makes total sense now that you kind of described the turning, and especially on like a four wheeler where your bars are gonna be, I would say probably more level, whereas with the bike you're gonna have it kind of angled, down into the corner.
Yeah.
Well, let's be honest, Scott. You never cranked a throttle more than a quarter turn anyway.
Saving gas, my man. Saving gas.
Nice.
That is embarrassing. I did get beat by a guy that his throttle did break, and he couldn't open it more than half or quarter to half, and I couldn't even catch him. So
I wouldn't admit that.
I just did. So, but well, cool, Chad. Well, is there anything else you want people to know about this? What you guys got going on this weekend and with the series and it.
Yeah, I mean we haven't been up to Millville since 2011, and we're heading back, and last time I was there, took a big win, and actually that was the last race of my 2011 season. I ended up breaking my back that year, and I was actually 10 points ahead in the championship leaving that race, and so I came back, and I've been able to win 2 straight championships and going for a third this year, and next stop is Millville, and we're pumped to be going back, and I know the track crew's been making some changes to the track, and it should be a great weekend. We're ready for it.
Well, I can tell you I was just down there over the weekend, Chad, and there's a pretty big buzz around there about you guys coming back. It seems like they're pretty excited to have you, so if I can't go racing this weekend, there's a good possibility I'll end up down there. So if you see a guy rolling around in a creepy white cargo van, you don't have to run away.
Right.
That's just me. I'll be trying to talk to you.
Oh yeah, right on. Stop on up to the truck and we'll show you around.
For sure, man.
Man, that sucks. That sucks that I'm so far away because I'm actually getting pretty excited. That's
what you get for living in Milwaukee.
I know. Dang it. Well, cool. And then what else you guys got? I mean, it looks like they got bands going. There's some freestyle going on afterwards. Music.
They got it all going on that weekend, and they're doing it right. And they got for the ultimate fan, they got to have the beer garden. They got that going on this weekend, and I mean it's gonna be sick. I mean, with the band, the freestyle show, these guys on quads, they go big on those things, throwing backflips, and it's going to be a good show.
I don't know the name, but I want to say the first guy to ever do a backflip on a four-wheeler was from Minnesota.
Yep, John Gooder.
Nice.
Yep, and Colton Moore, X Games snowmobile freestyle. He's going to be there this weekend, throwing it down. So, he's won gold two times out there on the snowmobiles. So
Cool.
He'll be there. So it'll be good company.
Now, do you stick around? Because I'm guessing that this is obviously all Saturday, but Sunday they have amateur day, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we stick around. We actually have 15 other supported riders that we sponsor throughout the series, and we support those riders on Sunday and help those guys out whenever they need, and it's a big effort.
Nice. Gonna have to road trip it back home.
No, Scott's coming to town this weekend.
All right, Chad. Well, thanks a ton for coming on. I know it was kind of short notice, but really appreciate you coming on and telling us a little bit more. Like I said, it's kind of new to me, and riding four-wheelers is kind of foreign to me, so I appreciate you answering all my questions.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me on. It's been real.
Cool. All right. Well, best of luck this weekend, and stay safe out there.
Thank you. Thanks. See you guys.
Later.
Thanks, Chad. Good luck.
Yeah, bye.
Oh, boy.
We survived.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is Jeff still there? You going?
No, I kicked him out. He was getting a little too handsy.
Yeah. Well. What else you want to talk about? We got a few other things.
There's some other topics, some things and some stuff.
Do we want to talk about Mr. Stewart first?
Yeah, I suppose we better. I guess I haven't. I guess maybe I don't take this gig seriously enough, but I haven't exactly done a whole lot of research on the whole thing. So maybe if you can fill us all in on what you know.
What I know, it's a giant cluster blank, is what I think it is. Yes.
Yeah, I would agree.
Because, and I don't know, and I'm gonna butcher this completely, which will just add to the confusion, which will make it sound perfect. Because there's like the AMA Pro Racing, and that was sold to whatever, somebody else, and then there's the FIM, and then there's the WADA deal, and it's just a giant cluster, because like one doesn't overlook like the Supercross, or one is only Supercross, and it's like there's three different people looking over the two different series, but they follow like different rules.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this could be completely wrong, but it's just it's a giant cluster.
Well, that's what seems so screwed up to me about the whole thing is that, originally they made it sound like it was a test that was taken last weekend, and that's where it came up, and that's why it was affecting this series. If it really truly took place in Supercross, then what bearing does it have on the outdoor series?
Right. Owen, that's pretty funny. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because like you said, that was back in Seattle, but I don't know.
I just don't understand how it can have the effect that it's supposedly going to have on this series, and why it's that big a deal if it was that long ago, and why did it take till now, for it to come out. It just seems a little shady to me. And as far as what he was taking or whatever. I don't know. I mean, the whole thing to me is like we've talked about before. You know what? I don't care. These guys are professional athletes. Let them do whatever the hell they want. You know, it's entertainment for us. They know the risks involved. So whatever, as far as I'm concerned. To me, this just adds drama to the sport that it doesn't need. Yeah, it gives a whole bunch of people something to talk about. And apparently there's people out there that make money talking about it, even though we can't figure out how to do that.
Yeah, we're still working on that part.
Yeah.
That's all right, though.
So, I don't know. To me, it seems like kind of a big deal about nothing. You know, if it really is just Adderall or whatever they're saying it is or whatever, I feel like whoop-de-doo. Who cares?
Yeah, it's kind of weird, yeah, because, yeah, whatever for his 88, I don't know. Yeah, it's like what you said, and then it's like, who are you reading or, you know, listening to, you know? Because it's like you read it on one website, it says this, and then you read something else on another website, it's like completely different, and it's like, I'm like,
well,
yeah.
That's why I didn't even really bother to look into it, because honestly, I couldn't care less. And just the fact that, yeah, everybody has their opinion on it, and they seem to be able to just stick in whatever they want to stick in and not be responsible for what they say. The only thing I saw on it was on Twitter. I was just flipping through Twitter last week, and that's where I saw it, and that's all I saw on the subject. So there was a lot of buzz about it at Millville this weekend. Matt Dorn was actually over in my pit Saturday night. He said, "So what do you think about Stu?" And I said, "About what?" Because I just completely forgot what was going on. And he had to remind me, but to me it just seems like a big deal about absolutely nothing.
I hopefully this doesn't take a negative turn here, but I was reading some of the comments on it, and obviously we know James Stewart is the first really successful African American.
Mm-hmm.
And his comment, first one I read, was something to do with, you know, since he's what was it, like the successful African American, he's under the microscope of the industry.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
That's why I did not bother reading any comments on any of it, is because it's way too easy for idiots to just get out there and spout off about stuff they don't know about. And it's like, you know, do you realize how stupid you sound right now? You know?
Yeah, so... But
that's, you know, Owen brings up a good point in the chat room. That's the whole other side of it to me is, okay, you're racing professionally. Pretty sure you should have the list of what is prohibited. If I'm in that situation, I'm going to my doctor and I'm saying, all right, I'm on this. Is any chemical in that on this list? You know, I'm doing my homework to make sure that I'm not going to get caught on the podium with that. And if I am taking something, I'm going to bring it up and say, is this okay? Or is it not okay? You know, do a little research.
But
you don't just go do it and then get caught if you're being responsible about it.
And else you're married. You do what you want, and then you ask for forgiveness, not for permission.
Well, I understand that.
Different circumstances.
Yeah. I've never been married, and that's why, because I don't ask for permission, and I don't say I'm sorry. And that's the only reason I'm not married. It has nothing to do with nobody liking me.
But okay, so this will go back. I thought I heard earlier tonight that Stewart had a prescription for, what is it? I'm gonna butcher it. Whatever for his ADHD or whatever the heck he has, you know.
Yeah.
So if you, as far as I understood it, if you had that, you know, I don't know if you had like a green pass or what. I don't.
Well, I still feel the same way though. Is even if you do have that, why wouldn't you say when they implement the policy, okay, how are you going to make this work for me? What can we do different? If this truly is a banned substance, what else can we do? Or, do I get a pass because I take it for a condition? Not just go racing and hope you don't get caught.
Right. It's kind of a touchy subject right now.
It is. And you knew it was coming. I mean, every professional sport that substance abuse policy has been implemented in has gone through the same thing. And we all had to see it coming. Eventually it was just a matter of who and when. I just think the timing of it is very, very weird, considering that it actually all took place in Supercross.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought too. I'm like, wow, we have an off weekend, weird, and now we have this essentially a giant shitstorm going on.
Yeah. Well, they had to have something to talk about, What was Steve going to talk about if he didn't have this to spout off on?
The Canadian Nationals and how second motos got rained out. And it was nasty.
Oh. I don't listen to Steve anymore.
Which we can talk about the Nationals. Man, they need to get their stuff together. Nelson, I'm on the wrong website. Like, I clicked on it to get results, and nothing. I actually got the results off of I don't know if I even still have it. MotoAddicts.com is where I got everything from.
Interesting.
So, I don't know what's going on. I'm just telling you how I feel about that.
Well,
so, all right.
Life moves a little slower up there north of the border.
Get on it. Because, I wanted to see... I know Jesse's up there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not 100% sure. Maybe 90% sure. But I think Jake Lolberg is up there racing.
Oh, you're getting into... The only rider I know up there is Jesse, so...
Well, we'll do some digging.
Do some digging. Get into the Talkin Moto research department. Have them hop all over that subject.
You can send all your information to talkinmoto@gmail.com.
There you go.
So yeah, I don't know when this disaster is going to get straightened out. I commented that he's going to be racing at Tennessee next weekend. So I don't think anything's going to happen, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I have a hard time believing that in the long run anything will actually come of this.
Yeah. Chat room listeners, weigh in. Let us know. We can take it. But,
I can't take it. If anybody says anything bad about me, I won't sleep tonight.
But yeah, okay, so that's kind of it about that. I just kind of laughed at, what did they call it? He was suspended, but how they worded it was really funny. I'm like, I don't know how you can do that, but whatever. I hear giggles.
Just reading some chat room humor.
I don't know. They're making fun of me. Easy, Owen. Easy. So yeah, I don't know if you saw that video. We kind of talked about it with Billy a little bit, but Hansen coming back. What do you think about that?
Though this was the first time hearing of it, so I don't know. Big deal, no big deal. I guess it doesn't trip my trigger at all.
It's kind of, to me, it's not kind of the same as all that hype with Lawrence coming back,
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool. I'd like to see him go and do good, we talked about it earlier. The dude obviously knows how to ride a motorcycle, so it's not a skills problem, just
Yeah.
kind of, I don't know what the deal is, if it's just the after stuff or the pressure, but I don't know. But I think it'd be cool for him to come back and do good. Same with, Lawrence. I was hoping that wasn't a joke either, that he'd come back and, and do good and, not go back to like your old, like when Lawrence was always messing with Dungy a little bit, It's just like, come back, let's race and, have fun and not be a tool. I don't know if that's nice to say, but that's how
but it's the truth.
That's how I feel. So,
I mean, I had to ditch my team name because Lawrence was coming back, and then it didn't happen. So I, ditched my team name, legally changed it, and all that for nothing.
You had the van all wrapped up. You had 14 sets of jerseys done up.
Exactly.
So,
just ruined me financially.
And didn't even come back.
No, I was all worried about getting sued for nothing.
Well, I'll let you bring up the next subject that I was under the rock about.
Well, I want to talk about something else first.
Oh, all right. Let's hear it.
Congratulations to a couple of buddies of mine this weekend. Found out at Millville Saturday night that Nate Conkey and Logan Marzon both received their pro licenses this week. So tip of the cap to those guys. I know they've been working their asses off trying to make it happen, and it finally happened for them. So pretty excited for those guys. They are going to be, at least as far as I know, heading to Redbud to throw their hat in the ring. So
Redbud.
that should be cool. I'm really fired up for those guys. I wish I could go to Redbud with them.
I was wishing you could go to Redbud, then you could pick me up on the way by, because right now I got the green light to go, but no one to go with.
Well, I would get in touch with your buddy Clayton.
Uh-oh.
I think he usually, I don't know for sure that he's going, but I know he usually makes that trip. So, had a nice talk with him down at Millville this weekend, too. Hadn't seen him in a while.
Which, you're talking FTM Clayton, correct?
Yes.
What you guys need to do is when you're at the track or you're getting your suspension done, you need to throw the Talkin Moto podcast at him. He's supposed to be hooking you guys up.
I was wearing my, I wasn't wearing my Talkin Moto t-shirt.
That's okay.
I got to get a Talkin Moto tattoo because I don't like wearing a t-shirt at the track.
Badass.
Yeah.
But cool. Yeah, I'll have to give him a shout because it'd be fun to go. Have you ever been out there?
I have not. That Redbud is on my bucket list. It's just never happened. So hopefully in the next few years here, get a little more established financially and with vacation and all that, and make that trip happen because I would love to go out there.
It's cool. I've been out there, I want to say twice. Could be brain farting. Once for sure. But like, it's cool. You get there in the morning and then it's like, Redbud, and you're like, Redbud. But at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you're really tired of people yelling Redbud.
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure by 9 o'clock I'd be saying, "Shut up."
Yeah. Well, this kind of jumps back. Where was Zach at? He got that bike all twisted up. Was that this week?
He was at Millville.
What did he turn left in a right-hander, or what happened?
I was chilling back at the van at that time, so I did not see it happen. I was listening to the to the broadcast on the radio and heard that it happened. The first thing I thought was, oh crap. I was pretty relieved to find out that he got up, but I'm not sure where the crash actually took place.
Yeah, like fender was all twisted. It looked like the dual exhausts were almost kissing each other.
Yeah, that bike was pretty messed up. So I don't know exactly what happened, but it sounded like it was a hell of a crash.
I don't know. I don't like what I'm hearing.
The collarbone is part of the track, Scott.
Oh. I just kind of looked down and seen collarbone. I'm like, I thought he was okay.
I was thinking it happened on the collarbone too. It wouldn't surprise me that it happened there because I almost crashed a couple times there on Sunday. But it wouldn't really not one of the more treacherous spots on the track all weekend long. That section actually stayed pretty decent as far as I was concerned. But anywhere on that track, once it gets rough, can be sketchy.
Oh, man. I don't know if I can ask this, Mr. Bauer.
You gonna fill me in on what you're laughing at? Now you have to ask.
Bauer wants to ask Jason. Ask Jason if he's had a hard on the whole show or it's just me. LOL.
What? I don't even know what that means. Hard on for what?
I'm not quite sure.
Interesting. I want more information, but I don't.
He kind of got. He's giving me a hard time. I called him Tinkerbell.
Awesome.
There's a photo of Matt Byton and a couple other guys. They were out golfing, and I was like, "Where's Tinkerbell?" or something like that. And it's kind of funny, but cool. Yeah. What else we got? So that's cool.
Well,
now, did those? No, I didn't stick around or pay any attention. Did those guys make it to Loretta's or no?
Ooh, putting me on the spot there.
I don't know if they. I don't know.
I don't believe. I know Logan did not. He was actually pretty sick that weekend down at Mount Carroll, and I don't think Nate did, but somebody can correct me if I'm wrong there.
Dang dirt bikes.
Yeah. But both of them were pretty excited over the weekend, and they should be. That's huge. Proud of those guys.
No, it'd be cool.
I'm wandering around the pits on Saturday night, just kind of looking for a spot to hang out because I was kind of there by myself and just wandering around. Ended up in that circle with Zach Williams and Joe Perrin and Logan and I don't know where Nate was, but Logan says to me, "Oh, I got my license." I'm like, "Got your license? Pretty sure you should have had your license for a long time by now." And he's like, "No." He's like, "I got a Dewey and I finally got it back." I was like, "What?" I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about?" He's like, "No, I got my pro license." I was like, "Oh." That makes a little more sense now.
That's cool. So did they say anything else? Are they just cool? Now we're racing, obviously, are they going to do any more other than Redbud, Millville? Are they going to try to hit up as many as they can, or?
I'm sure. I don't know that exactly. I'm guessing it's probably going to be Redbud and Millville this year.
I would almost think that they would hit up that one in Indiana. Is that Indiana or Illinois? Oh my gosh, it's Illinois, I believe, because it's not too far from my place.
Well, it's a good possibility. I mean, like I said, I didn't really ask those questions. I'm not a good nosy interviewer, press type. So I was just kind of saying, cool, good for you. But it's a good possibility that they will. I know. I mean, Logan works his ass off, with his business and that. So it's a matter of finding time and money to do that kind of stuff, as it is with any privateer. But
no, yeah, I think it'd be cool because that's quite a poke from the cities. I think that's almost 10, or is it 10, or is it 8 to 10? I don't even remember last time we went.
What's that, Red Bud?
Yeah, to get to
I
Red
have-
Bud.
I have no idea.
But
Never done it.
all right, let's just jump to this other cluster of a mess.
It is a cluster of a mess, too.
How did you guys hear about it?
Well, I don't want to get things wrong here. So I got to back up a little bit. And now I can't find it.
Back.
No, it won't let me go back that far.
Come on, Comcast
Ah,
or MediaCom.
friggin' hate it. I suck at this. You take over.
I'm tapping out. But okay, so you guys, well, they probably don't know what we're talking about. I think Owen knows where we're going here. There's this whole Danielle Daniel West living as Danielle West racing in the women's class.
Yes.
Is that pretty much the shell of the deal?
Pretty much. And there's so many sides to this whole thing. I don't even know where you start or what you can say about it. A lot of us that race here locally or that we're doing qualifiers, we're at Sandbox over the winter. I guess we knew about it, but it's one of those things you don't talk about for obvious reasons, which makes it all that much harder to talk about now. But to me, it kind of goes back to the whole Stewart drug testing deal. Is why wasn't this brought up beforehand? And say, hey, this is what's going on, rather than going and trying to do the races and then getting disqualified. As far as what the right thing to do is, I don't know. Obviously the AMA had to do what they had to do. It's a slippery slope for sure.
No, okay,
and it's got to be a first.
You said something about the Sandbox. Are they from around here?
I don't remember where she's from.
Okay.
But they were at the Sandbox an awful lot over the winter.
Well, this is me not knowing anything. So here's what I have. And Owen's yelling Red Bud.
I'm about to kick Owen out of the chair room.
to me, I think it's the right call. But that's me not knowing anything about the situation. Just going off of what I've seen. Because it's like... I think it's the right call, because to me, I think dudes are wired different, obviously. But I know now, this day and age, I guess, that obviously sometimes things maybe aren't wired correctly or differently is maybe a better word to say it. But yeah, I don't know. It's like you said, it's kind of a slippery slope.
The saddest part to me about the whole situation is, it happened. Something had to be done. I'm so glad I'm not the person that had to make that decision. But it's these a-holes on Facebook that, just completely came unglued on her and just were so disrespectful. It's like, come on, guys. You know how people are looking at the sport right now? Anybody from the outside that's looking into this, they're all thinking we're a bunch of a-holes because there's 300 people that commented on that on Facebook, just being e-bags about the whole thing.
Right. No.
That stuff to me is uncalled for. You live your life the way you want to live your life. Don't push it on me. I don't care what you do, as long as you're not hurting anybody. But to me, that was the sad part about the whole thing is, and unfortunately that's the reality of the time we live in and social media and all that crap. But that was the sad part to me. I don't know if I can have an opinion on it. Do any of us have a right to have an opinion on it? My feeling is, I tend to lean towards what you think. I think they made the right call for the situation. There's no clear-cut answer here, I don't think. The only way to take this whole dilemma out of the sport completely is to go back to just having, regular classes. Guys and girls are going to race together. That's how it's going to be. And that's not even fair. I don't agree that that's the fair way to go, but that's the only way you fix this. So it's a slippery slope. It'll be interesting to see, where they're going to go with it.
Yeah. Okay. So Owen, I don't know where Owen's getting his intel from, but he says AMA made the call based on birth certificate. But which kind of leads me like that's the last moto at a regional qualifier, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So to me, someone I don't know if someone found out. Like I said, I don't know anything about the situation, but like to me, if it made it that far, then someone probably, I would assume, protested it or said something. You know what I mean?
And I would assume that too. But, it's not like it was a big secret. I mean, if I knew about it, and I don't even know anybody close to the situation, so, that's the sad part about when you get into trying to do Loretta's and stuff like that. The same thing, not anywhere near as drastic or whatever, happened out on Mount Carroll. A few people bitched about the track conditions, and it was the people that weren't doing well, and that got everybody shut down on Saturday at 5 o'clock when there was still a couple hours of daylight left and they could have gotten a few more motos in, or at least that's the story I was told. It's sad that that's how people are, but I think that's exactly what happened. Like I said, I haven't looked a whole lot into the situation, but like I said before, a little research in this whole dilemma would have gone a long way. Just to be upfront from the start and say this is what's going on would have saved them a whole lot of money, a whole lot of time, would have saved people a whole lot of heartache and everything else if they would have been upfront with it and said this is what's going on.
It's not. Ugh.
The sad part is I saw it coming from a mile away. I mean, I originally saw it on the Moto Playground Facebook page, and as soon as I saw it, I went, "Yep, saw that coming." And I sent Jeff a text right away, and he said the same thing. Saw that coming. Anybody who kind of knew the situation pretty much knew that that's what was going to happen. So.
Yeah, like I guess I saw. Well, before you had texted me the other day, I seen the thing on Facebook, but it's like, I didn't even notice it was a guy or a chick. You're just scrolling through your feed, and I saw the photo, and I just kept on scrolling. I didn't even read anything. And then, you kind of told me what was going on, and I was like, all right. And then I kind of went back and dug into it a little bit, but so I don't know. That's what I think. Someone's kid got beat by it and protested it, and that's why that blew up at the end, I think.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I think it was bound to happen. unfortunately, yeah, I agree with their ruling. I don't know if I should or not. It's really hard to, this is the first time in doing, not like we're big time or anything, but doing a show like this where it's come to a dicey situation. You kind of have to pick a side, and it's really hard to do. But unfortunately, yeah, I do agree with their decision. I just think that being proactive in the whole deal would have made the whole situation a hell of a lot easier.
Right.
I would be interested to know, to know the opinions of, some of the other girls that were racing, and how everybody actually felt about it. Not the D-bag a-holes on Facebook that are being disrespectful and stupid about the whole thing. It'd be interesting to sit down and have a decent conversation with some of these people and find out what they actually think about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of like when we were talking about, oh my goodness, Hansen coming back, they kind of had just a little snippet of like his mom and his dad, and she's just like, the stuff that people say, it's like, especially like a parent, shouldn't have to read that about your kid,
Well, and especially because this is amateur racing, It's one thing at the pro level for people to have their opinion and be just complete D-bags to the pro guys. They're public figures, they have to expect that. That's going to happen. But this is amateurs, We're not public figures. So by rights, you shouldn't be able to just, go out and just completely destroy somebody. But like I said before, that's social media, unfortunately.
Right.
It's pretty easy to hide behind a keyboard, even if your name is on it. Who cares?
Be pretty tough.
I mean, obviously, if I went on Moto Playground and threw in my 2 cents and was a D-bag about it, I would be just destroyed because I'm such a celebrity.
Big time.
Crickets?
No crickets.
Crickets?
No.
No, crickets.
What else we got? Owen said it was a big deal ever since they started practice, so maybe we need to
it was a big deal at Tigerton. I mean, the buzz was going around at Tigerton.
See, I'm out of the loop over here in the land of beer, cheese, and serial killers.
I mean, it was a topic of discussion at the sandbox races, or excuse me, Cedar Lake Arena over the winter. It's not like this was new.
Just new to me. Damn.
Well, new to a lot of people because it wasn't, getting the coverage that it is now.
Right. Crazy. So,
Yep.
Do you know what? I mean, is that the done deal? That's it?
I would assume so. I don't know if there's, like an appeals process or how that all works. I'm not sure. But yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one.
Some tough topics tonight on the Talkin' Moto podcast.
I tell you what, man, we dig deep and we ask the tough questions.
I need to quit. Andy, leave me alone. Put my phone away.
I want to know what Andy's talking about.
Oh, I'm gonna have to start giving that guy some commission. Is all I want to say.
Commission?
Yeah. Yep.
What for?
He's out doing some hustling for us. So.
Well, good.
But yeah, I think that's about it. I think we're just gonna have to wait, and obviously this deal might be that's the rules, I guess, and that's what's gonna happen. And I have no idea. I'd bet $10 that Stewie's gonna be, at the National this weekend, and yeah, I think kind of Owen said it earlier. Probably just gonna maybe not buy his way out, but a fine or something, and So
Yeah, that would be my guess. Like I said, I think it'll be a slap on the wrist, and this will go away just as quickly as it popped up.
yeah, off weekend. They needed something to talk about, and that's what happened.
Oh man,
What?
I can't be a friend of Billy Laninovich
Why?
'cause it won't let me.
Too many.
All I can do is follow him. We have business to discuss.
Have to hit him up on Twitter at Lano132.
I'll have to do that. I'll send him an email. That's what I'll do. Screw you, Facebook. I'll pull an end around on you.
Jeez. So cool. So I tried talking to Greta about getting some tickets for the ATV races this weekend, but I did not get a hold of her. So
Well, originally I thought we were going to get some of those, and then I actually went and tried to track her down once the rain shot us down over the weekend, but she had just disappeared into thin air apparently because nobody seemed to know where she was. So I was hungry, so I gave up and left.
the food craving was too much.
Oh, it was getting out of control. They had some cookies in there in the office, and there's just a big plate of them laying in there on top of a freezer. I'm like, I just went in there and just attacked them. I had to eat.
All right, cool. So this weekend, hitting up Cato. Is that the plan?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm on the fence now.
I think the ATV thing would be cool, especially if you could go down there and be like, "Hey, Chad, what up? Talk to you on Monday."
Exactly.
Be like,
I mean, I don't know. I am on the fence. I could always, go down and hit up Millville on Saturday and then get up early and cruise down to Cato on Sunday.
or just drive right to Cato from the track.
It's true.
Come rolling in.
I don't know. I really want a weekend off.
It doesn't happen.
It has just been nonstop.
All right, so for the guys listening, Mankato is this weekend. I don't see it on their schedule because I think I'm on the race side, but I'm guessing they have Saturday practice.
Oh, of course.
So yeah, I love that track. Just don't go off the track. There's trees, lots of trees, but
Yep, there's trees and stuff.
But I think
Gotta look out for.
I think it's. I liked it. Probably the funnest track for me anyway. So Saturday practice, racing on Sunday starts I think it's a little earlier than everywhere else. Actually, no, it's 8:00 practice. 9 a.m. is the gate drop. So otherwise, let me open this back up. You can head over to. Oh my goodness, too much going on. SpringCreekMX.com if you want to get more information about the Mountain Dew ATV MX National Championship Round 6. Go cheer Chad on. Otherwise, you can. I believe it is, and I saw it somewhere else. And of course, no, I'm not going to find it. So.
Of course not.
I thought I had their other website. Oh, it's right in front of me. It's atvmotocross.com. So 2 places you can get all the info. You can head over to talkinmoto.com. I know I got the banner up. I'll get the link going so you guys can click on that, and that'll send you over to the right places. So
Cool.
that's it.
And if you're looking for something to do Friday night, come out to Jordan. Hang out with us.
Oh, I completely forgot.
I'm gonna be on the mic and acting stupid. So
There you go. And you said that, yeah, Jordan Friday. You can go Mankato Saturday or go down to Spring Creek, check out the 4-wheeler races. Go to Cato on Sunday. You got a full weekend of racing.
oh, there is. I mean, there's plenty to do. And we have a lot of fun when we do do the Friday night Jordan and then convoy down to Cato from there. That's always a good time. So,
Now, if only we could get Mettlers to sponsor the show.
ooh, Mettlers.
All right. Cool, guys. So thanks, everyone in the chat room that's been kind of listening in. And thanks, Owen, Chris, Dave. You know, they're kind of our core guys. They're always hanging out. And I have tickets for the Pro Nationals for the dirt bikes. Jason gave me those tickets. Now it's my fault for the delays. But
Yeah, and now I'm worried I'm gonna have to pay to get in. I gave away all the tickets, and now I don't have any.
which is gonna be different because you're going down all week, right?
I don't know how that's gonna work yet.
So
We'll see.
well, we still have them. So let's get a hold of Greta and see what we're gonna do there. If not, we'll make sure. Obviously, we got to get in too, right? So
Well, I would think so. Got to try.
But all right, guys, that's it. We'll be back next week, as always, on Monday. We'll get this episode up on Stitcher and SoundCloud, iTunes. Make sure to tell your friends and like us on Facebook. Got to get this baby going.
Yeah, I mean, come on, let's go.
All right.
We're good guys. Like us.
It's not that bad.
No, I promise it's not.
Red
I'm not
Bud.
near as big an a-hole as I sound like I am.
All right, guys. We'll catch you later. Maybe.